In professional wrestling, a hero is only as good as their silhouette. You can have all the best gear in the world, but if your lighting doesn't scream main event, your subject just looks like a person in spandex in a cold gym, which these guys were. Today, we're going to New Wave Academy in Wales to show you how to turn a gritty gym into main character energy iconic photos. That hits harder than a power bomb. Let's build an icon.
I'm down at Flawless Gym today doing some portraits of some wrestlers. And we're using a 3-light setup. We've got an light power tube here. I'm using the PG Wide Tech Mantis stand to be able to actually hold it up. And then we've got a Forza 300 up here.
On the Forza, we have a Nanlite 60 modifier with a softbox attachment to the front of it, as well as an Octagrid to kind of direct that light and make it darker, moodier, and more gritty.
And that's just going to be able to get the Rembrandt or the nice fancy lighting.
You heard that right, I did say Rembrandt. It is named after the artist due to a couple of paintings. The idea of this technique is to have the model looking directly at you, have the light off to a 45-degree angle, and then the next part of this is of course making sure that it is as high as possible and directed down towards the subject. What you get here is a catch light. With that you get a nice clear light on one side of the face and then just a slight spill onto the other eye. It's usually best to set up the light to the right of the model, as it's how we actually read images from the left to the right for the most part. And it's kind of what Rembrandt did.
And then in behind us, we have just a Godox 90 just at the back there, just giving us some nice rim light there. And it's going to be interesting to see what we can come up with.
At Camera Centre, we do the full shebang when it comes to camera gear, from accessories, lighting, and everything else in between. I'm going to put a link into the website down below and a few other links to the equipment that I used in this video, so make sure you check it out if you want some equipment. Let's get back to it.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
I'm the this is nice person of the group.
Cool. Oh, that's good. Look down.
This time we're going to do some side lighting, so this is where we light just one side of the face and then also use the Nanlite power tube on a red setting to give just a subtle highlight to the other side, making for a dynamic image.
Amazing. Can you bring this up, hold it around your back?
And earlier I said about iconic images. You got to bear in mind that most of these wrestlers have characters, so it's best to learn and adapt what they are and try and bring that out of them as much as possible. Niko here had this amazing battle axe kind of thing, and we played with it and got some cracking shots.
Oh, I don't know. They got that way, which looks quite cool. And you got that way.
That's sick.
Which I think just kind of
was sick.
When shooting, it's good to play with as many different angles and poses as possible. Again, work with the artist, talk to them, and try and work out the best possible outcome for the situations that you're in. The other thing here is don't be afraid to experiment. Sometimes moving the light a little bit or just adjusting it will actually bring out your shots a little bit more. It's always important to experiment and see what you can honestly get. The other thing is to be aware of your surroundings. We're in a gym here. I'm actually using the bars at the top on the ceiling to be able to point towards my subjects quite a bit within this shoot. For example, shots like this. The other thing is don't be afraid to work with what you actually have. I only had 2 light stands today, but I used the Mantis pod that I've been testing out recently from PG Wide Tech to hang off the rafters, and oh my god, this was actually really quite cool and reasonably sturdy as well.
That's sick.
Which I think just kind of
sick.
That's sick, isn't it? Yeah, nice. Keep off that way.
See?
Look off that way slightly. Oh yeah, this is kind of like you're picking somebody out of the crowd without looking at them. You know, like the frickin' just like you. I'm not even looking at you, but I know you're there. I'm going to smash your face in.
With the popularity of Stranger Things, a lot of this was really inspired by the posters that they actually use. Because you got to bear in mind that these wrestlers will use these photos for matches that they have coming up. So having them in different poses, different actions, will hopefully give the people doing the graphic design a little bit more option to be able to do some cool stuff later on.
Locker. My name is funny.
Do you have like frowny eyes? Do you?
All the time.
I'll come in a bit closer, guys. Amazing.
Now we're moving on to the belt portion of the shoot, and to start off with, we are going to be shooting all three of them at the same time to hopefully get some cool and creative shots. We're going to start off with a very basic shoot, try and get a couple different angles, and then move on to some more creative thinking and idea-driven stuff. So let's get into that. I know what you're thinking, it's a very good angle on myself, but I was looking to get a shot up with the belts all down the bottom of all the games that they've actually won, and then obviously from up high as well, getting them to do a bunch of different poses. We also applied this to the general shots without the belts as well, managing to get some more creative driven group shots. Now, a big thing here that I would say when it comes to group photos is using the idea of triangles, trying to bring together the image in the most pleasing way to the viewer.
Okay, turn your body face towards the light, face towards me, just a little bit further, shoulder that way.
Wrestlers are pretty easy to work with as they know what you need to get out of it, and they generally have poses. However, it's important to be clear and precise with what you're saying to them in order to get the best photos possible. Making sure you have this sort of like dialogue with whoever you're shooting is one of the most important skills as a photographer you need to learn. Next part of the shoot is to shoot Jay and Niko together, and for this I wanted to make sure I get a kind of really iconic photo. So what I did is set them up.
What we're going to do is we're actually going to get you facing the other way. Face the other way. Yeah, you're going to come back to back. So you're going to come quite close back to back. Perfect. Just a little bit twisted more towards me. Perfect. And then you're going to have the medal over your shoulder, facing the other way so we can see it. Facing the other way, yeah. Yeah, you looking. And let's see if we can just bring out a little bit more on you.
With Niko facing towards the camera and Jay facing away, making this sort of like movie trailer cinematic looking shot. Now, I know what you're probably asking. Why am I shooting a sort of like more filmic, kind of semi-softer lighting than what you would usually expect out of wrestling photos? It's because I was going for a more raw shot that doesn't seem so set up, something that seems more epic, and I feel like they have come together really quite well, to be honest with you.
Towards me, one more step. Emma, do. Okay.
One of the coolest lighting things that I've actually used in shoots recently is this sunlight lamp. It's around about 20 quid on Amazon. I think we should honestly sell them, if I'm honest, because they're fantastic. And I just used this and the circular light that it produces to be able to highlight the medal that is on his chest, because there wasn't enough light reaching there. As you can see, it's worked quite well. The last couple shots of this particular shoot was just simply getting them to use merching, which I used very much the same lighting, got them all in line with each other, and this is because it's purely just to show off the clothes, so there's not really too much creative here other than making sure they get the images they need to be able to promote the merchandise. And with that, we bring the shoot to the end. This entire video was pretty much shot with the Pocket 3. I'm just testing it out again, and it's a little bit easier to shoot myself whilst I'm actually doing things. Other than that, I hope you really enjoyed the video and found some useful tips here. The photos I was actually really quite happy with overall, and the camera I was using was the Fujifilm X-E5 with the 17-40mm. It's actually quite interesting stepping away from using full frame all the time for my photography. As you can see, the images I got here were actually pretty good. And if you like the video, please like, follow and subscribe if you want to see more.